So somewhat recently in the Pokemon Scarlet ranked ladder, they changed the rules, which is not really that unusual. What is unusual is just how much this season changed. We went from all of the legendaries being legal and being allowed one restricted Pokemon to having no legendaries, no Paradox Pokemon, no restricted Pokemon, and that's just a huge change, considering that most of the best Pokemon in the game are now illegal. And while I can only speak for myself, this is a huge breath of fresh air for the competitive Pokemon community. I personally love competitive Pokemon, but as soon as restricted legendaries are legal, I'm out. I truly feel that they are way too unbalanced and ruin the game. They, ironically enough, restrict the Pokemon that appear in every battle. Dealing with Urshifu and Incineroar every game is one thing, but do you really want to be fighting a Kyogre or a Miraidon every single game on top of the Urshifus and Incineroars? For me, no. But I totally get it if you are okay with that, it's just really not for me. The thing I love most about competitive Pokemon is making things work. There are so many Pokemon in this game, and I refuse to believe that certain Pokemon are just bad. Who's to say that freaking Low-Kicks or some other crap Pokemon is terrible? I can look at this Pokemon and see good qualities. He has a great ability and a really good move. Sure, he doesn't have much else, but I feel like realistically, you could build a team with him as a part of it, and he's gonna do okay. But not like unusable. He's not unusable, he's just fine. But the problem I have is, as soon as you throw a Low-Kicks at a Kyogre, we all know what's gonna happen. It's really hard to compete with these freaking stats, which is why I like when just simple Pokemon are legal. I feel like it allows you to use a broader range of Pokemon, and Pokemon feel less outclassed than others, and you can just kind of make most Pokemon work theoretically, like say, Squawkabilly. Also, sorry this video is freaking late, and I haven't posted in months. I just haven't had that much motivation. But here I am, I'm back. Hopefully I post more soon. Alright, let's start by addressing the obvious. What? Squawkabilly? Yeah, I know, he's not the greatest, and frankly, if they weren't on the loading screen of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you probably wouldn't even remember that they're in the game. But barring the fact that this Pokemon is basically unheard of, what does it have that makes him good? Well, that's the thing, he really doesn't have anything. I was actually able to get Squawkabilly to Masterball Tier once before, back when Paradox Pokemon were just legalized. I built a Hustle Squawkabilly with a Choice Band, so that with a Terra Steel Terra Blast he could one-shot Fluttermanes. He had the miss chance from Hustle, which was just really bad, and he wasn't faster than Fluttermane, and he's super frail. Ultimately, the only way I was able to make this work at all was because of Tailwind and Gravity, which is just way too much setup for this stupid freaking bird. And in that team, honestly, later on, once I got to Ultra Ball Tier and Master Ball Tier, I just kind of stopped bringing Squawkabilly and just swept with Mousehold and Sandy Shocks. So I kind of feel like I need to do this Pokemon justice, I love this Pokemon, I want to make a good, viable Squawkabilly, and I think I know just how to do it. Depending on his color, he actually has different hidden abilities. Every Squawkabilly has Hustle or Intimidate, but blue and green get access to Guts, and white and yellow get access to Sheer Force. Now, I've always found these abilities to be kind of strange for him, honestly. Hustle, Guts, and Sheer Force? Those are all abilities saying he should be a high damage sweeper, but look at these stats, he can't do that. What are they trying to make him do? He has an okay speed stat, a mediocre attack stat, and garbage bulk. Not to mention his terrible move pool. His move pool is so bad. I don't even know why they gave him Sheer Force. He only has 3 moves with additional effects, and all of them are special attacks, and good luck building a special sweeper Squawkabilly. Trust me, I tried, it does not work. Okay, so all you know so far is that Squawkabilly is really, really, really bad. What can he do? And why Squawkabilly? Well, to answer the latter, I have no idea. I just have some sort of connection to this Pokemon, and I really, really can't tell you why. And to answer the former, he has exactly 2 good moves, and when giving this freaking stupid-ass parrot a choice scarf that very well could have gone to a very much better, very different Pokemon, he actually can perform surprisingly well. He is one of the prestigious few Pokemon who get the move Parting Shot, which lowers the target's attack and special attack. And pairing that with Intimidate and an effective base speed of 138 thanks to Choice Scarf, he is kind of like a bootleg Incineroar but faster. So yeah, you get it. Squawkabilly is just, he's just gonna be an annoying little support Pokemon. Wrong. Squawkabilly is a weapon of mass destruction, because they gave this stupid bird Final Gambit, which instantly kills him, but does his damage equal to his HP to the target. I don't know if you remember, but people used to do this with Annihilate, and I always thought it was really weird. Why would you sacrifice a super good bulk Pokemon with insane offense just to one-shot a Pokemon? And with Annihilate, a very good Pokemon, I feel like it's just really bad. But now, imagine that with Squawkabilly, a very bad Pokemon. Trading his life for theirs doesn't sound too bad now. And pairing that with a Choice Scarf, this is an insanely fast insta-kill option. I was pretty consistently referring to him as my shotgun or a bomb, which is what led me to name my Squawkabilly Nuclear Bomb. So let's formally go over my Squawkabilly's moveset. Nuclear Bomb here has Final Gambit and Parting Shot, which I went over already, and I gave him U-Turn, which while I don't think is really that good, I always like to build a Pokemon with at least one attacking move, just in case. Plus, it has the asset of one-shotting Meowscarada, which is, it definitely caught me off guard, but I'll take it. And now he has one more move slot. And I'll be honest, he's out of good moves. The best option I feel like he had is either Helping Hand or Tailwind. And I feel like in every scenario, I would go with Tailwind. But the problem is, since I have Choice Scarf, I'll be stuck using Tailwind every single turn, or doing the most obvious switch known to man. So I went with Helping Hand, which I honestly only used like once or twice. For the EVs, it was pretty obvious to just throw all my points into HP for Final Gambit and speed for going first. With this EV investment, I also get to one-shot all of these Pokemon before they even act. And yeah, that is actually a very, very extensive list. Obviously, there's some caveats, but generally, Squawkabilly serves as a pretty good utility tool or an insta-kill tool. It's great to have that flexibility. And okay, some of you more knowledgeable viewers, who I'm sure are subscribed because smart people subscribe to my YouTube channel, may know that there is a certain Pokemon that exists that can do all of this with the exact same typing, exact same ability, exact same moves, and universally better stats. If you knew that Staraptor was that Pokemon, good work. But if all of that is really true, then why am I running Squawkabilly? And to that I have to say, did you listen to what I said earlier? I'm not running this Pokemon to be optimal, I just like this little guy. Plus I lied, Staraptor doesn't get Parting Shot, and that's kind of a big deal. But man, I would have loved those extra 8 points in speed, as it would have allowed me to outspeed Dragapult, which is one of the only Pokemon who outspeeds Choice Scarf Squawkabilly. Anyways, that just about covers that, so let's get ready to climb the ladder. Wait, I need a team. I spent so much time thinking about Squawkabilly, I forgot that I actually probably would like to build a team that he goes on. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the Tsunami Squad. Yeah, I kind of just went for a rain team because weather is honestly like super strong this season, and my Squawkabilly's blue. And with a water themed team, it's kind of nice to run a Pokemon that can easily take care of those pesky grass or electric type Pokemons. I'll write a comment with more detailed notes of all my Pokemon's builds, and I'll give you the rental code if anybody wants to try that out. Though as soon as the rules change, this team is going to absolutely blow, so just keep that in mind. So on to the first battle against Burbatov. This team is a little bit scary because of Incineroar and me not being able to one-shot almost every single Pokemon on this team. So while Squawkabilly doesn't seem that good on this team, it's my first battle, I want to bring him. Oh my god, I forgot to give my Pokemon moves. I always do this, where I build a team and I just forget something. Usually I forget like the items or the Terra types. Sometimes I forget the EVs. I never forget the moves. Okay, so I'm just gonna, call this a mulligan. I'll fix my moves and go into my real first battle against Grunty. And in this battle, I instantly learn how hard it is for my team to deal with water types, as a Terra Water Gudra and Gastrodon appear to be quite indestructible to my team. He quickly tears through like 70% of my team, and with just a Tatsugiri and a half-health Archaludon, can I really win this? Well, here's something that you need to remember. I win these. I'm built different. Archaludon and Tatsugiri are deceptively fast and strong, so on my turn, I can finish off the Gudra and the Gastrodon, and suddenly, we're looking pretty even. The Corviknight is scary, but I can just kind of take out the Primarina before it can do anything, and since Archaludon lived the body press at 5 health, I was able to clutch. And also, I'm going to say now that I'm not going to be going over all my battles, because getting to Masterball Tier can take quite a lot of battles, and I'm not trying to keep you here all day. But if you want to be here all day, you should probably go subscribe, because then you can watch all my other content, which will probably keep you busy for a couple hours. My next battle is off to a bit of a rocky start, as I led with Squawkabilly Tatsugiri, and they led with Lapras and Annihilate. Now, I know that my Squawkabilly is going to go first, but the problem is I don't think he'll one-shot Lapras, and he can't hit a Ghost type. And because of Defiant, I don't want to use Parting Shot, so I just kind of have to do a Hail Mary, Final Gambit, and Draco Meteor to try and take both of them out. But this backfires majorly. I kill neither of them and lose both of my guys. So now I'm just kind of screwed here, so I don't think Dondozo and Pelipper can clutch this. He gave up? Well, I'll take it. That was so winnable for him, though. I mean, he was maybe scared of like an Earthquake or something that could take out both of his guys, but this is just a normal Dondozo. He's not even boosted. Whatever. And here's your daily reminder that Altaria is a really bad Pokemon. I don't know if any of you also had this impression as a kid, but I feel like I always thought Altaria was like a pseudo-legendary or something. But no, he's not a pseudo-legendary, he's just a terrible little guy. Anyways, part of playing a new Pokemon season is learning what certain Pokemon do. And I haven't played that many games, so I don't know that Primarina runs Haze. So yeah, I lost that one, but that's sort of like one of those one-time mistakes, Now we get to play the fun game of, does Squawkabilly one-shot? I'll give that a kind of. All I need to do here is hit this muddy water to stop the Trick Room. Oh, god damn it. Okay, but at least I have Dondozo. Not every team is built to survive Dondozo. Is his team built to survive Dondozo? No, I guess, but honestly, I think he could have won this game, but he just instantly gave up. Why are people just giving up against my team? Now let's move over to another exhibit of Pokemon my Pokemon just can't fight. Sinistra, way too bulky, is a grass type, can't be final gambited. Honestly, I don't know what my team can do against this, so I'm just gonna hope that I don't find many, because my team can't do crap against them. Also, if I may, can I complain about the move Matcha Gotcha? I know everybody complains about this move. Why did they feel the need to give it like 3 different effects? It's a spread move, it can burn, and it heals. Yes, it's not 100% accurate, but like, it's pretty close. Like, Jesus, what were they thinking? Anyways, despite the terror that is Sinistra, I did win this fight because Tatsugiri is just built different. Choice Specs Draco Meteor is a hell of a drug. Also, this is one of my favorite things when people rage quit before I even see what happens, and I just instantly have confirmation that, yeah, this killed. This game, much like the Bronzong one earlier, I'm not able to stop the Trick Room. So this just becomes a game of, can they handle Dondozo? Okay, GG then. Oh my god, Tatsugiri, what the hell are you made of? Jesus. I know you're strong, but man. Hey, you should subscribe to me. Isn't that a fun concept? I put a lot of effort into these videos, and your subscriptions would, it just makes it more rewarding. So just thanks for doing that. And if you don't, well, people sleep on people just watching your video. It's fine if you don't want to subscribe. The views definitely help too. Anyways, in this games, we see one of my favorites, one-shotting Garchomps. It's just so satisfying to watch one of the scariest Pokemon die instantly. And now that Squawkabilly is dead, we once again get to play the game of, can this team fight Dondozo? And, okay, yeah, this one's got hands. A Terragrass Volcarona, that is very, very scary. The Stab Giga Drain and getting Flame Bodied, okay. This honestly looks pretty freaking bad. But I did hurt him a lot, and I can just kind of protect stall until the Sandstorm kills him. Uh-oh, okay. So we'll have to get crafty here, because even though the Sandstorm is still here, it will disappear before it hits him again. Even though it looks like I'm in pretty good shape here with his Volcarona being at like 1 health and just a Clefable, I'm actually in quite a rough situation here. If he kills Dondozo here, Tatsugiri's going to be ejected and killed by Clefable's Moonblast. And while I do have Archaludon in the back, because of Clefable having Follow Me, and with no spread moves, Archaludon will probably die to Volcarona. So, what do I do? What can I do? I double protected, but it just doesn't help because the Sandstorm left. So I'm just going to have to do something a little bit desperate now. At 25 HP, I'm going to Terrastalize my freaking Dondozo. If he goes for Giga Drain here, there's a small chance that it being not very effective will mean that I get to win this. And oh my god, I lived at 3. And the Earthquake kills, and now I just have a free win. Hell yeah. Maybe one of my biggest brain plays of all time, if I do say so myself. On this next game, we see one of the rare occasions where I'm actually using Helping Hand on purpose. And oh crap, Final Gambit. Wait, on the Squawkabilly? Did he really think that it was in his best interest to kill my Squawkabilly? He's gonna die to a Drain Punch. You don't need a freaking Final Gambit him. Whatever, dude. This is honestly huge because I always want to target the Annihilates with Final Gambit, but if he targets my Squawkabilly, it's basically the same thing to me. Now, this next game was an interesting one. Interesting in the sense that this guy did absolutely everything wrong. He starts with a Tailwind from Whimsicott. There's nothing wrong with that. But then I hit his Whimsicott down to Sash, and I Jet Punch him. In the same turn, I hit his Glimmora down to like 1 health, so as he knows, I could just Jet Punch him. He sends in his Ursaluna, and here's the moment where he messed up, because you really have to think critically here. You know that I can priority kill your Glimmora, so obviously Spiky Shield is a great option. But one small issue. If I call out your Protect, you could very, very well lose your Ursaluna before it even gets to do anything if he gets doubled into. Now normally I would say that this is just a risky run, but the thing is, you are a Glimmora, one of the Pokemon most known for spamming Spiky Shield all the time. You would probably get much better value out of just attacking, because the worst case scenario is that you lose your almost dead Pokemon, set up Toxic Spikes, and Ursaluna gets to live. Compared to protecting, where the worst case scenario is getting called out, losing your Ursaluna, and still being stuck at 1 HP with Glimmora. Can you guess what he chose? Yeah. I mean, we're still in the lower ranks, so I wouldn't expect people to do the big brain plays at this point, but like, it's just, part of the thing I love about competitive Pokemon is mind games like that. Okay, I know I'm kind of like zooming through these battles, but frankly, the first like 9 tiers are just really, really easy, provided you know what you're doing. Plus, I've been cutting out the less interesting battles and the losses. Speaking of losses, I've been lying. I've kind of lost a lot, because believe it or not, this Squawkabilly strat is a little bit frail and hard to work with at times. Also, now is a good time I talk about the biggest problem with my team. And believe it or not, it's not the Squawkabilly. I already talked about Primarina and Sinistcha, but what I need to talk about here is Dondozo and Palafin. These Pokemon are really difficult to work with. Not to fight, I don't have any problem fighting them, they're just really difficult to use on my team. Palafin's an interesting little guy. He seems so powerful in theory, having insane damage with a really good priority move and speed, but he only is good in his hero form. And while it's not hard to get to hero form, it's the fact that you need to. He's really just not that good in his baby form, and having to switch out is one of the most telegraphed things you can do. And as I was just talking about with the Glimmora earlier, having such a telegraphed play is completely devastating. And as for my Dondozo, my poor little guy, I love him so much, but there's just way too many Dondozo counters this season. It's just so hard to run him, unfortunately. So I'm in kind of an awkward position here now, because even though I have a team of 6, I don't really see a lot of value in 2 of them anymore, so I kind of just have a 4 Pokemon team. So I'm not gonna lie, getting even to Ultra Ball tier was a little bit of a struggle here. But after a lot of wins and a lot of losses, I'm 1 win away from Ultra Ball tier. So let's see how this battle against Kevin goes. Instantly upon examining this team, I see Trick Room, with a sub-theme of snow, which is weird. I don't feel like you really have a lot of reason to be running snow and sun on the same team, and I just don't really feel like Glaceon is a good Pokemon at all, so this is certainly just a strange start. Now they start with a Glaceon and Indeedee, and I just don't quite see the vision here, but I am scared of exactly one thing, and that is the unknown. And because I'm scared of the unknown, I just feel like with everything in consideration, this is a weird team. I just have a very strong inkling that Indeedee is going to fake out Squawkabilly. Most Indeedees don't run fake out because they can only hit flying type Pokemon. But since this is a male Indeedee, I do kind of feel like it's more likely, as they're typically more geared towards offense. Because of Indeedee only being able to hit flying Pokemon, he can't fake out Tatsugiri. So I'm kind of gonna do a strange, crazy play here. I'm gonna Terrastalize Squawkabilly to water so he no longer flies so he can't get faked out. Never thought I would Terrastalize Squawkabilly as he's a Pokemon who's designed to explode, but, you know, in this rare occasion, I actually feel like this is optimal. So let's see if my read was correct. Okay, well, you can't win them all. The upside is I still did what I wanted. The downside is just I'm down Terra. And wow, that Blizzard almost killed. That has to be choice. And oh my god, he got an accuracy down. So now he is locked into Blizzard, which is a terribly inaccurate move. And as soon as I override his Snow with Pelipper, he's just completely screwed. Good luck landing a single Blizzard. Alrighty, cool. Well, after taking care of some business, I'm finally in Ultra Ball Tier. And you know what? Ultra Ball Tier was so easy. I just took care of this guy's team with Archaludon, took out this guy's team with Archaludon, again, because he's kind of just my best Pokemon, and now I'm just one win away from Masterball Tier, and the Gatekeeper is Scarlet. A bit of an unoriginal name if you ask me, but they're in Masterball Tier, which is scary. And looking at their team, yeah, I'm a little bit frightened here. Dragapult and Sneasler are a devastating duo who can easily kill both of my Pokemon before Squawkabilly can even act. Remember earlier when I said that the one notable upside to Staraptor over Squawkabilly was outspeeding Dragapult? Yeah, I'm starting to feel that here. Sneasler is just so scary because of Fake Out and being super strong, and the rest of the team is also just scary because they're just filled with great Pokemon. Except for Glimmora. Not exactly a bad Pokemon, I don't want to be mean to it, I think Glimmora is good. But on a water team, I'm not exactly scared of a rock type. He ends up leading with Sneasler and oh no, Glimmora. Alright, well that was unexpected, but that's much better for me. Alright, looking at this, the thing I'm the most scared of here is actually Squawkabilly getting faked out. If Squawkabilly gets faked out, his final gambit becomes completely useless, and Tatsugiri's probably gonna die if Squawkabilly doesn't one-shot that Sneasler. As much as I would hate for Tatsugiri to get faked out here, somebody has to get faked out. Who is he choosing? What? Okay, I really don't want to be rude, but that must be the single worst play I've ever seen. This is such a bad play that I think the most likely answer to the reason why he did that is because of Joy-Con drift. I really just can't believe that anybody would do that on purpose. He just sacrificed both of his freaking Pokemon for freaking Toxic Spikes, which by the way, doesn't even affect half of my team, 2 of which are currently in the back, meaning that these Toxic Spikes aren't even going to do anything at all. I do like to be confident, but frankly, he sends out Rillaboom and Volcarona, and I'm not gonna lie, these are kind of scary. It's gonna be hard for him to clutch, but it is scary. And he went for Terra Fairy in front of a Steel type? What is he cooking? Okay, Quiver Dance is what he's cooking, and that is actually very scary. And I get that accuracy drop on the Rillaboom, so I basically have this in the bag. I do take an insane amount of damage here, but Flash Cannon should really seal the deal here. Okay, I didn't really take into account the fact that the Quiver Dance is gonna buff him up. Okay, I kind of have to lock in now, because this is scary. If Heat Wave hits both, I kind of lose here, honestly. Pelipper dodged, which, you know, that's not as good as Archaludon. Why did that do so much less? There's no way there's that big of a difference between the damage rolls. The first one wasn't even a crit, so why was that one so weak? Well, we definitely have a win here because, you know, he's just dead, but let's see my rank. 4,572, not too shabby considering I'm using Squawkabilly. I'm just gonna try and keep playing until I lose and see how far I can make it. For my first Master Ball Tier battle, I'm fighting against Regigod, and he leads with Meowstic and Braviary. And not gonna lie, I don't know what either of these Pokemon are planning, and that's what I like about Squawkabilly. If I don't know what somebody's planning, I can just one-shot it before I find out. Next he sends out his Chestnut, and you know, this is also a really weird pick, but I mean, I guess we'll figure out what happens. I go for an Icy Wind instead of a Muddy Water here because I just kind of feel like speed is more important to me here, but I also at the same time really don't want a Tailwind. Terra Steel Chestnut bulks up though, and that's honestly really scary. And because he overrode my weather, I instantly switched to Archaludon, and unfortunately I'm choiced into Icy Wind, which is just kind of meh. I'm just gonna roll with it though because I don't really have much of a choice. And plus Squawkabilly died anyway, so honestly who cares. At this point I just kind of feel like I can just press the Archaludon button and sweep. You know what? Okay, I'm right. Yeah, he just kind of... Now I'm in a battle against... Oh my god, okay, well that was anticlimactic. Alrighty, and this was my highest rank I got to before I ended up losing. You know what? Honestly, this team kind of taught me a few things. Number 1, Archaludon is freaking busted. In almost every single game I played, Archaludon was my sweeper. I just kind of feel like in this rule set, Archaludon might just have a little bit of a balance issue. I think he fits nicely into different seasons. I think in this season, though, he's a little bit too much. In number 2, I learned that Tatsugiri with no Dondozo was actually pretty good. I kind of didn't expect it, but he's just so strong with Choice Scarf. Choice Specs. In number 3, don't sleep on my man Squawkabilly. This Pokemon is unironically really good when you look at him as a way to take out a Pokemon you can't fight. You can't look at him as like anything else than that, but you can just look at him as like an ability to trade a Pokemon. Anyways, thanks for watching. I have no idea when my next Pokemon video will be because I'm probably done with competitive Pokemon until Gen 10. So get ready for more Isaac content. That's kind of what I'm into nowadays. So hopefully a new video coming soon. Remember to subscribe because you're awesome, and then have a good night. Sleep well.